Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? So we're going to have a little bit of fun with this one because not only is my daughter's two cats locked in another room right now, I have this huge, gorgeous little smiley face puppy walking around here. So everybody say hi to
Johnny.
yeah, Johnny. Where is Johnny? He's around here somewhere.
He's splooting behind the TV.
Yeah. He's do we need to turn the TV on for him? Everybody say hi to Miss Kayley Bishop, please. Hi, Kayley.
Hi.
Are you having a good time yet?
I'm just having such a delightful time.
You know, that's one question that always pissed me off when people were talking. It was like, are you having a good time?
I mean, you're not allowed to say no. So
Exactly.
if you say no, then you're just a butthole.
It's loaded. Everything's totally loaded on that. It's weird.
It's real. Yeah, totally.
So how well did you know Mr. Edwards? That's how I met you going down there to that.
Mockingbird.
Yeah, the Mockingbird.
Yeah, so we met just last week. It was last week.
Was it really?
Right? I
Yeah.
don't know. Or maybe 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. My days run together.
Hang on, I'll check with the executive. Hey, when did I go down there? Was it 2 weeks ago?
Well, regardless, we
Two. Yeah.
So Jay Edwards is a guy in Nashville, really iconic in Nashville. I feel like if you're ingrained in Nashville, you know who he is because he's just got the voice of 1,000 angels.
Man, it amazes me, his voice.
He just bellows out this sound that you're like, how does a human make that kind of sound? And,
I was trying to think of who I could who else would sound something similar to that, and I came up with nobody.
Yeah, it's so honestly maybe somebody from like a black like gospel quartet.
Possibly.
Maybe he's got
Possibly.
so much soul in his
he does.
voice. It's just crazy. But we met in Nashville. We were playing a songwriters round together, and I was singing some songs that were probably mature in the sense of just content, not explicit content, but just like he looked at me after the show and he goes, "Man, you write like you've lived a lot of life." And I said, "Yep, I sure have."
Well, that's what, I was talking to him about it, and he was, I forgot where you was outside doing something, and I was talking to him about you, and he was like, she's just got an old soul writing, and I'm like, that's exactly it, because I was sitting there listening to your songs when you was playing, and I was just like, man, this has got heart, it's got soul, there's a touch of blues in here, and I was just like, damn.
That's good.
Hey, Jay, you got her number, man?
I it's funny because I feel like I'm a child. Like I grew up on toilet humor, and so like poop jokes, I will laugh all day long. I'm literally a child, but I've lived a lot of life, and I like to think that I'm wise for my age. But it's not because I'm smart or mature. It's just because I spend a lot of time at heaven's gates.
Yeah.
With the Lord, because he just imparts to me wisdom that I would not be able to glean anywhere else, and I just end up putting that in my song. Because when you're walking with God, you learn a lot, because if you're in tune to what he's saying to you, then when you hear what he says and you don't apply it, you feel really itchy, and so when you do apply it, you always get clarity. And so I end up getting a lot of clarity because I have a lot of problems, so I just
You got to listen to what talks to you, I mean, it's and that's some stuff I've told people before too. You got to understand, God has a sense of humor. That's why he gave you the freedom of choice.
Oh yes.
If you choose wrongly, then that's on you. But if you choose right and everything goes good and everything's flowing, then hey,
yeah,
you chose right.
I mean, I be trying to choose right every day.
You got to.
But yeah, I'm glad that he has that impression of me just being an old soul as a writer, because I go there. I'm not interested in writing fluff unless it's meant to put a smile on your face or make you want to dance. But
yeah,
I really want people to like think.
Yeah, but some of the songs you played that night, there was one I was just like, man, if there was a dance floor out here, I could see a couple just up there just dancing and loving each other, and it was something that I seen, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that.
You didn't know that, did you?
Been holding on to that little cookie.
Always. I hold all kinds of stuff in. I don't tell a lot. Nah, bull crap. You ask me a question, I'll tell you. I don't care.
I'm a pretty open book too. Like, I was actually thinking about that on the way here. Just some of my secrets that I don't want to anybody to know. I will inherently end up telling the first person I come in contact with. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why do I do this to myself?
Now, see, that's kind of like an open book right there.
I'm too open,
for an
man.
opportunity on a podcast. Hey.
Don't be asking me nothing serious.
Hey. Give me that secret.
No way.
No, ain't happening.
Ain't happening.
Okay. Where did you get that dog? I've got to ask that.
Look, here's the thing.
He is a sweetheart. He's got the cutest little. When you sent me that picture and asked if you could bring him, the first thing I said to myself, nobody else was here, and I was sitting there going, "Oh, look at that smile! Look at that punum."
Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, if I send a picture of Johnny, like he's always going to get a yes. I've got to send a picture. Okay, so here's the thing about you having me in your kitchen and us talking. Like, I'm going to talk about faith just because it's such a big part of my life. And I have to talk about it again because that's how I got Johnny.
Yeah.
So, November of 2020, I was sitting on my couch. I think I had COVID or something, watching the TV. And I was with my roommate, and she, my roommate at the time had a golden doodle, like a white one. And I just learned to love the temperament. I just loved this dog.
Oh, they are so even tempered.
I love them. I love them. And cuddly and, you know, all that. And so I'm sitting there flipping through Google Images looking at golden doodle puppies, but specifically the redheaded ones because I want my dog to match me.
There you go. Got to.
Ridiculous. And so anyway, that was November 2020. January rolls around. And I had a huge come to Jesus moment. Like, God was like, hey, you got to stop doing that. Like, you got to put down that relationship that you're carrying on because it's not good. I don't want it for you. But it was like dying, getting rid of this person in my life. Like, I didn't know how to do it. And it killed me partially.
Oh, it'll eat you up.
But I'm allowed to tell the tale. And it was so wonderful because the next day, I feel like God just saw how hard that task was. And he was like, I got a reward for you. And I got a picture, a random picture from somebody, a friend of mine. It was a group text and it said, free golden doodle to a new home. Now, I had not gone into buying a golden doodle. Like, I'd seen a couple pictures and I was like, that's the dog I want. But they're designer dogs. Like, I'm an artist. Like, I'm a full-time musician. I don't have money to drop on a designer dog. What? No.
Yeah, because that designer dog has a designer price.
Yes. And so I just let that lie.
Yeah.
And then here comes around, I do a hard thing. The next day I get a text with a free golden doodle to a new home. And it was a picture of Johnny in his full red-headed glory.
Did he have the smile?
Old. Oh my gosh. Like, the picture just, it literally made me swoon because it was him playing in the snow. He had a little snow on his nose. I was like, I cannot. And
that's a level of cuteness you just can't ignore.
I really can't. I can't. And also just like the level of miracle too. I was like, is this real life? This is the exact dog that I wanted. And he's the exact age that I wanted because I knew I could not have the facility to train a dog, to potty train a dog, to walk through like the puppy phase with a dog. And here he is looking as cute as can be at 11 months old, and he's perfect. And it just so happens the person trying to get rid of him was, you know, kind of going through divorce and trying to rehome him. And there was nothing wrong with Johnny. And so I went to go pick him up the following week, and the guy gave me his bed, his crate, his food, his toys, everything for free. Just gave him all to me. And awesome. I was like, this is a God thing. Like, what just happened?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you needed something.
I did.
He gave it to you.
I did. And he's been my buddy.
I can imagine. Where'd he go?
I don't know. Oh, he's over here laying on the ground.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the only thing I was worried about is him pulling another cable out. So.
I know. He just likes to wander around. He's like, where are we? Oh, electronics, fun.
Well, I think he's comfortable now. So
yeah, he is. It don't take long.
That's cool.
So that's the story of Johnny. Named him after John Wayne Because
Oh, that's after my heart now.
he's a cowboy, but he's a movie star cowboy. You know what I mean?
I wonder if we can get him some boots, hat.
I really should. I should get him more like John Wayne inspired gear.
Yeah, because I've got a John Wayne clock in there. I've got John Wayne's cookbook. I've got all kinds of stuff.
He's got a cookbook?
Yes.
Well, what's in it? Like, what does he make? Like, what are his recipes?
A lot of the stuff that is in there is, you know, how you've seen his movies.
Okay.
And they had the trail drives and stuff, and
Okay.
you had the cook out on the trails. That's what he put in that cookbook.
What?
Yeah. It's cool as all get out. I mean, there's all kinds of recipes in there.
I had a Snoop Dogg cookbook sitting on my kitchen counter for a long time.
Yeah, but how do you finish cooking it? I mean, isn't it like 4 ingredients, put it in the pot, roll one, puff, puff? I mean,
You would think. I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, we made a few recipes out of that book, like some mac and cheese. And did I do the biscuits? I don't know. I've done a fair bit of those.
I figured it'd be like Taco Bell and Crystals or something.
You would think. No, this is like Southern soul food.
That is awesome.
The whole book.
He probably got it from. He probably got that idea from, who's that cooking lady?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. Yeah, him and her are big buds.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's probably where. Yeah, it might have been a collaborative book.
I think she even smoked with him one time or something. I don't know.
I would believe that.
I have no clue. I don't have no proof, but you know, you never know.
You never know.
But yeah, there's the John Wayne cookbook. I think Ted Nugent's got 2 cookbooks out.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of stuff. You do a lot of cooking?
I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. No.
I was fixing to say, when do you have time?
I don't. When I do, I mean, I try and cook from home, just like eat from home and not eat out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have like any crazy recipe. There's actually one that's really good, and it's like it's either you can do chicken or salmon, but it's Tuscan inspired, and I do it over a bed of rice. But it's like this yummy sauce with all the fattening things. It's real good. It's real good, and you put it over the chicken, over the rice. It's really good.
And welcome to Cooking with Kayley.
I know, it's bad, but I love desserts. I do make biscuits. My friend Hannah Dasher, she does a lot of cooking.
Hannah Dasher, I've heard that name before.
You probably have. She's big on social media, and she does a lot of cooking things. And she goes, "Stand by your pan." Like, it's great. And I got my biscuit recipe from her, and she sent me a few recipes that I love, but we're pretty tight. And whenever I have something I want, I'm like, "Hey, how do you do this?"
My buddy come back. He's over here now. What do you got? He's got a cat toy, probably.
He sure does.
Let him play with it. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't.
Good, John.
Is it? It's not too small for him to swallow, is
No,
it?
he's fine.
I don't know how. I don't know how to give a dog a Heimlich maneuver.
No, he's totally fine.
What are you doing? He keeps backing his butt up over here when we scratch his butt.
He likes the scratch right above his tail. You just gotta give it a little. He'll dance. His feet pedal down.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
He's dancing. He's a cutie.
Yeah, I had who else was it brung a dog on the show? Was it Leon? Leon, yeah, Leon Everett. He brung his pumpkin. That's what he called her.
Oh, I love that.
Little wee bitty. What was it? Shih Tzu? Bring him on the show.
I love it.
It was cute.
Well, John is very happy to be here. He's codependent, so I like to bring him places I can. I try to, at least. I brought him to a handful of different studios I've recorded at, and he's typically really great, just friendly, just happy. His little tail. I don't even know.
He's just like all over me. He's happy. I like happy. Good God, he moves you.
I know.
How do you write or play guitar with him around?
He's pretty good. You know, I have to exercise him a little bit, but if I have somebody writing at the house with me, he's so good. And we've got a little station called Place, and I tell him to go to Place, and he lays there for a good while. Like, or if I'm just trying to get like a good recording on a work tape or something on.
Yeah.
His little claws will just dance around the wooden floor, and I'm like, okay, lay down. But he's so good. Like
He's
he
funny.
doesn't really bark much. He alerts me. He lets me know what's going on if the postman's there. But
she had to get the cat food up.
sorry.
She doesn't need him meowing in the middle of the night wanting more cat food.
I really don't. I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't. That is crazy.
So yeah, there's John for you.
He's funny, man. I like him. He's cute. My daughter moves out, takes her 2 cats with her, then I might have to get me one. My buddy Mike Bowers has got one, but it's actually a Labradoodle.
See, Labradoodles are crazy. The lab and the Labradoodle. Labs are hunting dogs.
Yeah.
You got to exercise them. They go nuts.
I think he's like 12 years old now. And Mike Bowers, me and him's been friends ever since first grade, you know. So every time I go over there, that dog he'll bark at you for 3 or 4 times, and as soon as he catches your scent, then it's just like all up on top of you, and kind of like what John was doing, pushing me a little bit, you know, wanting to get petted. I was just like, wow.
No spatial awareness.
No, none. They don't care. They just have fun.
Sure do.
How many EPs do you have out?
EPs.
Okay, now, see, I have a problem with the EP thing. And everybody's told me that I need to keep it EP. But when I was doing demos and all that stuff on the recording side of it back in the day, it was called a demo.
Oh.
And now it's called an EP.
No.
And then I've heard it's 4 songs, an EP, and then here lately I've noticed that when people drop one song, they're calling it their EP.
Well, okay. So EP stands for extended play. And typically it's like a project from like 3 to 5 songs. I don't know if it's 6 or 7 that makes it an album.
Yeah.
And so I've got one EP that I recorded, but I've been releasing it as singles. And so once I drop the last single, then it'll all come out on the same project as like 5 songs.
Well, see, somebody else told me that they prefer to drop just the singles because when you're an independent artist and you're trying to do what you can do, I mean, what they were telling me, it was more money-wise feasible to do one song at a time. That way you could actually put your promotion behind it and get it out there and do everything that you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freaking hard, man. It's expensive. And I think it also is like algorithm based as well. So what I've heard, what I've gathered so far is that even streaming platforms, they want to see you releasing like once a month.
Yeah.
Because then you're using their platform.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to like get the algorithm on your side. But honestly, like, I don't know, because part of me, when I go to see a single, I love in the drop down, like, oh, there are all these other songs off that project. Like, I want to listen to all of them. So there is merit to dropping a bunch at a time. But I'm still probably going to be on the single release schedule for a little bit here. I'm going into the studio next week, and more singles come the beginning of the year. But it's a constant headache, and it's a constant learning curve, and it's things that you don't know that you're going to have to be an expert in when you sign up to be a full-time musician.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could play full-time and earn full-time and never release a single song.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Like, I mean, I'm paying my bills through performance, but I also create, and I need to be able to put things out for, I want to, and people want them.
Yeah.
I've got so many songs that people are like, where is it? Where is it now? I'm like, well, you want to put money in my bank, pay for it? Like,
yeah, here's my Venmo.
Yeah.
Send me the money. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be campaigning for this next project because, the way I see it is I'm going to do it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to not go in the red. I'd prefer to like continue being able to pay my bills, but I will save up every nickel and dime I need to pay for it. But I think it's also cool when you invite people into what you're doing, because then they get to take ownership in the glory of it.
Yeah.
And the reception of it. John.
I don't know if y'all can see. There's his tail. He's over looking out the window.
Yeah, he sure is.
Let's see. There we go. Up there, you can see a little bit of him. That was funny. Yeah. It's like, where did that light come from?
I know.
Face out there.
Come here, kid.
What are you doing?
Come here.
Y'all say hi to John.
John boy.
John.
Gotta say hi.
Hey, Shapoonam.
He's like, yeah.
He's like, get me off of here.
Get me off.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that everybody was telling me when I started this podcast, that I've got to watch the algorithms. I've got to watch all this stuff and drop at a certain time. And I don't know. I mean, I think the whole algorithm thing is kind of fickle. Sometimes it works like it's supposed to.
I think everybody's just grasping at something to say about it. Like they're grasping at a method but the truth is like, who knows what people are going to like, what's going to pop off. I know any platform, once you regularly using it,
mm-hmm.
because then if you're regularly using it, then I want to reward you by putting your posts or whatever on like the home feed or the home page.
Yeah.
Which I get that. But I think you should just be what you are. I should just be what I am.
That's what I keep telling everybody, because everybody kept telling me I need to do more live streams. Everybody told me I needed to keep, like live stream to Facebook, live stream to YouTube, and just do nothing but live streams. But when I go and I look at the stats and everything, the live streams are getting way less views than if I sat here and record and go to the editing and do what I do and then release them. And I was just curious, is that something that you've seen?
I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Like I've been
going with my heart.
Yeah. I think, God told me a couple years ago to be authentic without fear of man. Mm-hmm. And I realized I am that way on stage and face to face, like in person, like at coffee, at lunch, whatever. But I haven't been doing that as much on my socials. I'm like, why am I just like, I'm so afraid, because it's like there forever, right? You post a video and it's like people can dissect it for however long, but then I'm giving too much merit to what people think. And I just need to do what I feel most compelled to do and share what I feel like I need to share and stop over analyzing and overthinking. Yeah.
And see, that's one thing I kept going back to. And there's a quote that I've always heard through my whole life. To thy own self be true.
Yeah, that's it.
So quit listening to everybody else and just do what.
That's what I'm doing.
And that's what I started doing.
Well, it's like the video I posted today. Like,
I love that song. Even the little flub that you did. I loved it.
I mean, I found it like way, way up. Like I think I did that in 21, like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it. I said, you know what? Why not? Let's post it. Because I don't care anymore. Yeah. Like, this is me practicing. This is a song that I hadn't planned on recording or releasing. Who knows? Maybe somebody will like it and it might actually become a thing. I don't know.
It left me wanting to hear the whole song.
Well, maybe I'll do another version of it and do a whole song. Do the whole song.
Do the whole song.
It's a good song. I like the song.
It is a good song. I liked it. And then I laughed when you flubbed up, and then you was trying to, and then you started something else, and I was just like, oh, okay, she's got it.
Yeah, I forgot the chords. I was like, how do I play this? And then so I'm using my ear. I'm like, okay, is that working? I don't know. It's a mess.
It's easy to do. I mean, you've got, how many songs have you got done?
That are released?
No, that you've got done.
Oh, that I've written?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I should count. A lot. I need to get organized. I need to get them all organized because some of them are really bad. Some of them are fine. Some of them are okay. Some I'm proud of.
I had Mark Hatt on, and he was doing a song, and I was asking him about the song a little bit, and he said, well, this isn't how it started out. I changed these words. I changed this, and I'm like, why didn't you just go to the cut and chase part of it,
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a great song.
Well, sometimes you can't get it all out in the first session or when you first sit down. And because you start to edit yourself in the middle of it. And you really just got to honor the ideas that you have that day and then let it go. And I've really kicked songs up to the next level by coming back to them a month later.
Yeah.
And just revisiting the lyric and melody or whatever it is and being like, oh, wait, there's an opportunity here that I missed. Or it's affirming. It's like, oh, wow, that really was a good idea. Like, I love that. Uh-huh. Or that sucked. What was I thinking?
You know, I think sometimes, and it's just me, but I think sometimes that some of the best songs that we probably hadn't even heard ended up being thrown away because somebody said, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it.
Well, you know what? Okay, a friend of mine said this. And this is a quote that she just repeated to me. She goes, the world is run by idiots because all the wise people are at home overthinking.
You know, that's kind of funny, but it's kind of true.
Kind of true. I'm like, I can't be that way. I need to stop overthinking.
I do that. I do that a lot. I mean, you can ask Julie and them. I get, like before I do a show, I get nervous.
Are you nervous right now?
No, I mean, we've been sitting here talking for 26 minutes, so I'm not as nervous now. But before you got here, that I started getting nervous, and I do it before every show. It's weird.
But I get that. I think, well, how many shows have you done now?
I think you'll be number 50.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting there. You're putting your hours in. It's just like being on stage. I mean, there are so many stages that I'm not nervous for now, but there's still a couple that do get me nervous. I'm trying to think of the last time I was.
Well, the Mockingbird, you just looked comfortable as all get out.
Oh, I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah.
At all. But I did play the Bluebird like the week before. And I think there's just something about the Bluebird.
I think it's the nostalgia of the whole thing, the whole venue.
Yeah, I might have just put pressure on myself too, but I was like, why am I nervous all of a sudden? Like like my fingers weren't working. I'm like, what the fart? Why am I not doing this? Not playing it like I should. And I mean, most people are just like, oh, they're not going to think any different that much about my performance. But I, of course, noticed. And
you are your own worst critic.
I certainly am.
Because I criticize the crap out of myself all the time.
Yeah, and I'm trying to stop doing that. You should stop doing that too.
I try. I have people around me that says, it's fine, shut up. And I'm still like, Yeah.
But
I'll do it anyway.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I want to do experiments. Like, I want to experiment what it's like for a full day to not judge myself. To not like slander, shame, or verbally accost myself for whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Not even and I'm really good about not speaking that stuff over me, but like I think it all the time. Like,
yeah,
why didn't you get up earlier? Like, why didn't you? Just the impression of it. I'm like, I wonder what that day would feel like if I didn't do that, and how free I would feel.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could totally see that, because there's times that I'm just like. I have thoughts sometimes where I just like want to get up and I don't want to go drive a truck today. I just want to do something else. And then other people get tired of hearing me say it, but I say it all the time. Man, it'd be great just to, say, this is my plan. Get up at 7:00 in the morning. Have a nice breakfast. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
Get done at the gym, come home, take a shower, send emails out, and just work on the podcast. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I get that.
And then, because I get envious of musicians and people that's how they make their living, and they're doing really good at it. And I'm just some old fat guy on a microphone,
Well, I mean, I've never ran a podcast before, but isn't it, you get paid through ads or whatever, people like advertisers?
You can do sponsors, you can do ads, you can do all kinds of stuff. But I don't.
I get that.
The reason I don't is, I like to have some, but I don't want somebody telling me, and you can relate to this because I think everybody can. I don't want somebody telling me I can't say this. I have to only go with a certain content. And that's what happens when you start getting too many producers, too many sponsors, too many commercials, all that stuff. Because then they start saying, well, you can't say this. You can't do that.
Well, I just feel like if someone's using my platform to advertise their thing, it's because they liked me.
Yeah. Well, one of my sponsors is Purity Dairy.
Oh, cool.
Look at the bottle.
Come on, Purity.
That's right. And we got a little deal with them, you know, and they don't care what I do on the show.
That's good. See, you just got to find more people like that.
Yeah, I just got to find more like that, but that's hard to find because I don't advertise for them. I like the freedom. I like the no script, be able to do what you want to do, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And that's why I get envious of, there's a lot of songwriters out there that won't do the cookie cutter stuff. You know, they do what's from their heart and this is what they're feeling and they put it out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I like because I actually have more people on the show that I don't think are cookie cutter. I think that they've got something like you've got this little thing going that is just with the way you write, your singing style. And I loved how you were trying to get the audience in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's got to be fun for me too. Like, and I want people to be interactive. I want people to feel like they didn't come and just sit and didn't do nothing because it's so easy to just be quiet. But there's something that happens to your body when you start to sing.
Yeah.
And people that don't sing, when they start to open their mouth and wail, because I've like said, hey, you better
Yeah.
like, sing along with me. Like they feel compelled because they can't not. It just feels good. It feels good to do that.
Yeah. Because there was, I can't remember what song it was, but you was like really belting it out and you had that little bit of a gravel come in on
Probably
your
Hold
voice.
On, Honey.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it blew me away because when I looked at you, I didn't see you having that voice, you know? And then when you were up there belting it out, I'm like, I'm taking a couple of pictures. I'm folding my legs. I'm like, yeah, holy shit, I like this.
Yeah, that's a Take Me to Church type song.
I liked it. It was really good.
Yeah, we go. I go for it on that just because.
Oh, you was belting it out. I was like, yeah, she loves this song.
Well, I also just want people to feel the impact that I feel from it. You know, that was one that put tears in my eyes when I was writing it. I was like, oh shoot, this is something. You know, and like you're crying as you write the song, like you got something that's gonna hit.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Get you in the gut.
Left or right side?
Both sides.
Okay.
And the butt.
No, well.
Get you in the gut and the butt. Slap your butt, make you move.
That's what I like. I like songs that will actually make you move, make you feel something.
Mm-hmm. Or just make you think. Like I want people to like drive home from my shows and just think about like the message I gave or whatever. Because I'm just sitting here trying to make people feel better and do better. Mm-hmm. I've said for a while, like I want people to. I want to leave people better than I find them. Whether that's like them listening to my songs on Instagram, even.
Yeah.
Like it was funny because like the post today, I had several people message me privately and say like, "Man, I really needed to hear that."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I just got breakthrough because I've been sitting here doing that exactly what you said you're trying to not do.
Yeah, because from the time that me and you started talking, you know, I was following you on Facebook and everything else, and you put up some really good inspirational stuff.
Well, you know, that's me trying to dig into my authenticity because these are the kind of conversations that I have. I'm like, the beauty of learning lessons, especially like when you're learning lessons from heaven. God always puts someone in my path, like honestly, even that day. Like I'll spend time with him in the morning and he'll show me something and I'll learn something.
Right.
That afternoon, he's bringing somebody to me, whether it's a stranger or a friend texting me randomly, and it's something I can minister. I can basically like give them what I learned.
Right.
And so it's like, sometimes I feel like an imposter. I'm like, well, it's not like I've been operating in this for this whole time. I only learned it this morning. but it doesn't matter. It was something that hit and that God is now allowing me to impart to somebody else. And that's just how information goes. You learn it and you give it back out. And so I find myself in that position a lot. Like I remember I was, the first time I realized that what I do is more than just singing songs was on an airplane, because I was flying up to Pittsburgh and I was playing a show outside of Pittsburgh. And actually on the flight back, I sat next to a woman who just, it was one of those things where I knew I was not going to be by myself this flight. Like we were going to be talking the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And she just starts telling me like her deepest wounds and her secrets. And I'm just like, wow. And she's like, I've not really told anybody this before.
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot, like, and you're telling me? And I just knew it was God saying like, I want you to love her. And there was something, I guess, about that interaction where I think she felt safe to do it. And I was able to see her there and counsel her. And so that's when I noticed that it's more than just me playing songs. Like God has put me on assignment.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm walking with him, like there's going to be people that are going to need to know things, and he's going to make me the voice for it. Not because I'm smart or because I know everything. It's just because I've been coachable to what he has to say.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I can claim. Like I've been coachable. I try to be coachable at least.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just, you'd be surprised. And I tell a lot of people that you'd be surprised how just, let's go with 50 seconds, just 50 seconds of saying something nice to somebody could have prevented them from going way down that wrong path.
Totally.
And that's what I've told people before, if more people loved each other, we'd be a whole lot better off.
I actually have a story kind of like what you're saying, like, because it only takes 50 seconds to say something encouraging. Well, a couple months ago, this is a story of me like being disobedient and ignoring God, and then also like getting my butt kicked. So I was at the grocery store, and I was at this little grocery store called Turnip Truck, and it's actually in Nashville. It's like a small, whatever, hoity-toity grocery store, but it's close to my house. And so I walked in there because I wanted to go to like the medicine area and like look for a specific thing. So I go over there and I'm asking the attendant, I'm like, hey, like I'm looking for this thing. And she's like, we're out of it right now. And we start talking a little bit, and she just looks at me. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I just had this impression that I needed to encourage her and say something to her, whatever God wanted to say to her. But I wasn't really sure. And so I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk away. I'm going to check out, and I'm going to get in my car, and I'm going to go home. And so that's what I did. And I ignored it. And on the way back to my house, I was feeling just like this itch of like, you were supposed to say something to her. And of course you don't know what it is, but that's faith. Like as soon as you step out and begin to do what God's telling you to do, he gives you the words. It's happened to me time and time again.
Oh yeah.
And so, anyway, I go home, just ignore what God's saying. And a couple weeks later, it hits me again that I need to go encourage this girl. And I'm not in Nashville at the time, so I can't do anything about it. And so another 2 weeks go by, another 2 weeks. Finally, I'm in my bedroom folding my socks, and I'm listening to a message. And the pastor's like, if you can't hear God talk to you, you need to go back to the last thing he said for you to do. And I was like, dang. Because I was having trouble hearing him.
Yeah.
And I go back to that thing, like in that grocery store, I didn't say what I needed to say. And I was like, okay, Lord, like I'll go to the grocery store. I don't need to get anything, but I'll go in there and see if she's working.
Yeah.
So I drive over there, walk inside. I go to the pharmacy area. It's not her. I walk up to the other woman there and I said, hey, I'm looking for this specific individual. She's blonde. I was asking her about another product a while ago. I wanted to see if she was here. And the woman just looking at me very quizzically, like, who are you? And like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And I was like,
stalker.
I know. I was like, I don't want anything. I was stalker. And she looks at me. She's like, yeah, she still works here. And I said, well, do you know the next time she's going to be on shift? And she's like, she's in the bathroom. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, great. Because on the way over to the grocery store, I was like, Lord, what if she doesn't even work there anymore? Who knows?
I mean, you never know.
Literally, who knows? And
Did you chase her down in the bathroom?
I didn't go to the bathroom. Yeah. But I went to I was like walking around the produce like aimlessly, picked up some guacamole, and I was like, okay, this will be good. Maybe she's over there by now. So I walk over there and I see her and I say hi. I was like, hey, do you remember me? I was looking for the stuff. And she's like, oh my gosh, yes, I do. And I said, well, I'm not here for that. I just wanted to talk to you and let you know, like the last time I was here, I felt like God was telling me to encourage you. And frankly, I don't know what I need to tell you, but I did bring you my favorite book of all time. And so I actually had brought this book from the house and I gave to her and I wrote a little message in it. And I just said, like, God, whatever you're going through, God sees you, sees what you're going through. And I think he wanted me to tell you that. And I'm really sorry it took me so long to do it, but I'm finally doing it. And she's like, got chills. She's got tears in her eyes. Yeah. And it was just one of those things. I'm like, finally. And then on the way home, I don't know. It was just a relief. It was like, I got that off my chest.
Yeah. It's like, it's not no big, huge euphoria from it, but there's
peace.
Like a peace. Yeah. It just kind of flows over you.
Yep. And I'm in the market for peace all the time because it just feels good. So.
Yeah. I'm in the market for peace and quiet sometimes.
Yes.
There's too much going on around sometimes.
I know. No, I feel that way too.
And it's like you can't even hear yourself think.
That's me every time I'm in a loud bar trying to play a soft song. Just doesn't work.
No, it never does.
Never does.
I was at I've got a story. And it's weird because sometimes, depending, I don't even know if it's depending or not. It just, you ever go somewhere and you just see somebody?
Yeah.
And it's like
that you know or that you don't know?
You don't even know them.
You don't know them, but you see somebody.
But I'll see somebody. And it was the other day, I went to Kroger to fix my prescription insurance cards and stuff.
Okay.
Went over there. And then, of course, they don't carry that anymore, so I have to go to a different place. But I was walking back out, and I was feeling discouraged and everything. And I walked outside, and there was this lady, probably, I don't know, 30, 31 maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere around in there. And she was standing next to one of the brick pillars and just was kind of looking down, And I just walked over next to her. I felt compelled to do it, and I just walked over there next to her. And I kind of put my shoulder up next to hers, and I said, in case nobody's told you today, you're beautiful. And I walked off.
Aww.
And I turned around, and she was crying with a smile.
Aww.
And just kind of waved at me, And I was like, hey, I guess I was meant to do that today.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the assignment. It's good. Like sometimes I was actually saying recently, I'm like, man, the amount of to-dos I have is just, it's terrifying. Like all the things that I know I need to do. But on the days that I feel like I'm doing what God has told me to do, I feel the most fulfilled. I'm like, I don't even care about the to-do list on those days. Cause I'm like, man, like I feel like I heard a directive. I did it. I'm like, I can put a stamp on job well done. Like I feel good.
Yeah. Well, it's like this podcast come up out of the blue. Buddy of mine said, have you tried a podcast? You want to do a podcast? And I studied it for 6 months and I started it. But the whole reason I started this was one, I thought to give me something to do. I needed to do something creative. But no big names have been on my show. I doubt if I try to get any big names.
But it don't matter because, what's the fruit of it?
But that's not what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah. Okay.
What I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to help people starting out, people that have been in it for a little bit, and just help them get that word out.
That's good.
Because there's so many sharks. They're just out there in that music industry, just taking little bites here and there. And they'll take you for every penny you got if you let them. And I'm hoping that with everybody that I talk to and the message goes forward, everybody learns something. And and then we make a lot of friends, and we just all have fun.
I like it. I think it's good. You know what your motive is.
Yeah, it's not money.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool because like your one thing may change. The one thing is whatever your wheels are turned in towards. So for instance, for a long time, for years, my one thing was just getting good at music. Like learning how to play a good song and write a good song, sing a good song, learning how to hold a crowd, like anything that's performance related. That was my one thing, getting good. And then life happened. I go through a divorce. I go through just a crazy upheaval of everything that I didn't think I was going to have.
Yeah.
And then, your world falls apart and then it gets fixed and you have all these different lessons to share. And then I realized my one thing is actually transferred to giving a message now and being on assignment versus just singing pretty songs and doing a good job. Granted, that part is still very, very important, but I've spent a lot of time honing that.
Yeah.
And it's something that I need to continue to stay conditioned in so that the rest can happen. But my focus is now on the impression I'm leaving and, making people feel empowered and encouraged. And so I think that's probably your situation too. It's like for a minute they're like, well, let's just have a podcast. Let's figure out all the gear and let's get everything done and make it look all shiny and new. And then all of a sudden you start having people on. You're like, wait, this is actually, there's more to this.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because, you was on The Voice and you're doing so good to me. I think you're doing really, really good. And then putting that message out there and combining everything that you're doing and your writing and the soul that's in it. And just, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
I think you're doing great.
Thanks. I need to tell myself I'm doing great.
I can make a note.
You're great.
Tony, we're getting you a collar that says you're great. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it really would be. I need to get him a little bandana. Another little bandana. He's got a little bow tie collar right now. It's cute.
That's what my daughter has on her cats.
I mean, it's cute. He's a gentleman, man.
I'm not a bow tie kind of guy.
He's looking at me. He's like, I know you're talking about me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about you.
He makes me want to have one. He's so cute.
You can borrow him anytime.
Mm.
And you don't have to take me up on the offer.
That's a sneaky way of getting a dog sitter. You know that.
Yeah, sure. Hey, I need him on the regular. Yeah. I'm traveling so much in the next couple months, going every which direction.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What all you got coming up?
So I'm doing the studio next week, and I'm getting that underway. And the week after, I'm popping up to Michigan. And then after that, I'm going up to Idaho and Utah, doing a songwriters tour out there with a couple of buddies of mine. And Milwaukee. Oh gosh, it's just constant. It's constant, and some of it's not performance. There's one that's just kind of like a social media retreat. I'm like, I got to learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah,
trying to get better, trying to understand what I'm doing. Like,
I've seen somebody that had, God, I can't remember who it was, but it was a songwriters retreat. I think down the other side of Spring Hill.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of retreats that go on. It just depends. Like you know, different writers camps. Mm-hmm. They'll get in a house for a couple of days and just hunker down and write. So there's a lot that you can get on. But like there was one by Reggie or one of the Wooten brothers. I don't know if it was
I think that's what it was.
Maybe we're thinking about the same thing, but it wasn't. I don't know if it was a writer's camp, but it was a consortium where you could go and there was a chef that made you all your meals and you would pay for the weekend.
Yeah, or
the week actually.
I think I remember they were writing songs, and then like towards the weekend they put the songs together, and then they got on stage and played them in front of an audience.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
I think that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you're supposed to know these things.
I'm supposed to know everything. I know. Everything about everyone, every opportunity.
Well, you are a woman, so you're supposed to know everything.
I can at least be intuitive.
Exactly.
I can be intuitive.
I like intuitive. Intuitive is fun.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got a clue half the time.
So yeah, I'm traveling a lot, and I need a dog sitter for John. So let me know.
Did he just whine?
Yeah, he is. He's crying.
That is funny.
Like, you killing me, kid. He probably wants dinner or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got to poop. Who knows? Has anybody ever said poop on the podcast yet?
Oh, we've said worse.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like a G-rated kind of. I don't really talk bad. I do talk bad, but I don't like.
I drive a truck for a living, so.
Oh yeah, you're like apparently tempering your language around me.
Well,
See,
I
don't say the F word. I say fart. What the fart?
I've got two other ladies that will throw something at me.
Okay.
So there's times that I zip it. I'm good.
Yeah, I've just always. Unless there's traffic. If there's traffic, you're gonna hear some 4-letter words.
No, you're totally safe. You're in your car. Nobody can hear you.
It's just like gut instinct. I'm like.
But then when you got a SM7B right in front of your face,
Trying to withhold. Mind my P's and Q's.
Yeah, that's why Julie's over laughing at me, because she knows I'm bad. I admit it. I really am.
That's okay.
And I try to curve it.
You know what? Self-awareness is everything. You know how unself-aware people are? So many. I'm like, how do you not know this about yourself? Like,
I get a kick out of it because I see people so unaware of their surroundings and anything about it, and they're so self-absorbed in their phone. Yeah. I love going to Walmart and watching and just, you can sit in a Walmart parking lot for 30 minutes, and I'll tell you, you can see at least 5 people run into the buggy station or run into a sign, or, it's just
wow,
because they're just engrossed in that phone.
Gosh, it's so sad what we've become.
I know. And I keep telling everybody, I've seen it on Facebook, and I agree with it. We really need to make an observation deck at Walmart. And you can sit up there and have dinner. You can just watch the festivities of Walmart.
I honestly might do that. I would do that.
It's funny.
So my boyfriend / ex-boyfriend, as he's in limbo right now with that title, he is a huge fan of walking the aisles at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we did it kind of like as a date one time, and I'm like, I can actually get used to this. Like, I like just kind of perusing and going at my own pace. And now I got somebody that wants to do it too. And we just kind of, we connect when we want to connect. And like, I'll be like, okay, well, I want to go down this aisle now. And we found a really cheap Roomba that way, which I really needed one for Johnny. So
I don't like them.
I love it, man. I love that sucker. I've got to babysit it at times.
Well, the only reason I don't like it is because it'll get off its station and then it'll run, but then it'll get hung up on one of these cords.
Oh yeah, it'll get hung up. Mine's gotten hung up a couple times. Like, I see it in the middle of the floor, just like dead. Like, I know what happened.
Yeah, and then God forbid you have an animal make a mistake on the floor, then it spreads it all around.
Yeah, well, John is an angel, and so he doesn't do that. I mean, he's had a couple mishaps, but no, he's really, really good.
Oh, he's over there now, laying down.
Having a good old time. He's like, what is this, Mom? Like, why are we here? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're hanging out. We're doing all kinds of stuff.
Can we put this baby goat in the camera view? Because I feel like people need to see it. It's quite despicable and disturbing.
Well, I mean, it's my daughter's stuff. She's into oddities and everything else. And for some reason, she decided to put it there.
So, well, so you can't see it. Anybody that's listening, you can't see it, but there is
well, they can't see it on the podcast anyway.
A jar. There's a jar. There's a jar with a goat fetus in it. And it is like,
help me out, Caitlin.
oh gosh.
You wanted to see it, so there you go.
That is And I've just been staring at it this whole time. Like, it's like right there. I'm like, I just keep looking at it. I'm like, what on earth?
Yeah. It's crazy. Now turn the camera. There you go. That's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Now you're back.
We back.
See, it's good to have good people helping you.
I love it.
Now John's going to mess up with my camera. I'll watch him. Oh, there we go. That was a dog bump.
He's so satisfied and proud.
Oh, he's happy.
Yeah, he really is.
Well, man, I was hoping he's going to have another show in town soon.
I do. On Monday, it's actually going to be a really good one. It's at the Woolworth Theater.
Woolworth Theater? Where's that?
It's a newer theater. It's actually, it used to be the old Woolworth store back in the day, but it's down, I think it's like 5th and Church, downtown Nashville, something like that. And it was a restaurant at one point, and then they changed it into this theater.
Oh, is that, Julie, is that the one that used to be off 5th Avenue right there on the right? It was just big Woolworth right there?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can go, I'm doing a writer's round style with Lauren Massetti, Chris Allen, who was from American Idol, like I think Adam Lambert's season, and then my buddy Adam Hambrick.
I really liked Adam Lambert.
Really talented. Really talented.
I mean, he has got a heck of a vocal range.
I don't even know, man. Insane.
Yeah. And for him to fill in for, take the reins kind of and help out Queen and do all the Freddie Mercury vocals and stuff.
There's not a lot of people that can do that.
Well, I mean, what I liked about it was he didn't try to directly imitate Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
he made it his own.
Yes. Oh, man. I'm torn about that.
You're torn about that?
Yes. Because on one hand, yes, I agree. Like, an artist will take whatever song and make it their own. And that's what I do with like pretty much every cover song that I play. I love to just do my own thing with it. But when it comes to Queen, just like, how do you not do it like you gotta do it like, I mean, it's perfect because it's Queen.
Yeah.
It's Freddie Mercury.
He's not Freddie Mercury.
I know he ain't, but I don't know. That makes me a little itchy.
That's just my thing. I like because he made it his own. He didn't try to imitate or take away from Freddie Mercury.
Totally.
He did it his own.
No, I agree. I get that.
And I'm totally about that.
Well, that's at the Woolworth. Adam Lambert won't be there, but Chris Allen will be there. And we're all going to have a good old time.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if... what time they start in 7?
Oh, here, I can look it up. Hosted by Buddy's Place. Buddy.
Yeah, it's not hosted by me.
No. I got to find it.
I talk too much for a writer's round.
I hear that.
You need glasses?
Sometimes, yes. I have contacts that I don't wear. And I'm just negligent about it.
That's okay. When I look at anything up close, I got to take my glasses off because I'm nearsighted. I'm not farsighted.
Okay, doors at 6, shows at 7. And if you go on my Instagram, I do have a little ticket link in my bio. So you can go buy tickets if you want. And I'm excited. It'll be good. It might be close to being sold out, so you better get your ticket. Well, I don't know when this podcast is going to be aired. But
this podcast will be aired Monday.
Okay, so yeah. Get yourself a ticket and go to the show tonight, baby.
See, you've got to plug it really good now.
I got to plug it, honey. Hear all my storytelling live in person, baby, with my guitar.
There you go.
We try.
I'm going to love it. I might see you there.
Okay. You better text me.
I will. Or I'll text John.
Oh my God, he's just staring at me.
I know. He's like,
Kid.
we got to go, Mom.
Yeah, I think he might be ready.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. I appreciate you having me out.
He's so cute. He's just sitting there like eyes darting back and forth on you like, come on.
Sometimes I just stare at him and I'm like, I love my lovers. Yes, I just love my lovers. I just love him. He's just a good boy.
He is so cute.
He's
All right, hon. Well, we've done an hour, and John's done about 25 minutes of that.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Wow, that kind of flew by.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, good.
I still haven't broke my record yet, though.
Brought your record?
Broke my record.
Broke your record. What's your record?
2 hours, 58 minutes, and 32 seconds.
Wow. Were you there for all of it? No.
Was you there on that one? No.
About to say, that's some.
Yeah, that was one. That was close to one of my first shows. He's whining.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Wow. So
Was it Skylar? Oh, it was Skylar. Okay. My granddaughter. I was like, that was a different noise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hon.
Well, this is fun.
Look in that camera right there
Looking.
and tell everybody your social links so they can find you.
I am at Kayley Bish on Facebook and Instagram. It's KayleyBish. Kayley Bishop was taken, so alas, here we are. But you can be one of my bishes.
There you go.
So follow me, stay in touch.
Hang out with the Bish crew.
Come on, you better do it. You better.
We will. All right, y'all. Remember, I get on my soapbox. Kayley, thank you so much for being here. This has been a lot of fun.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we'll get you back up here and we'll do a 2-hour one.
All right. Sounds good.
At least you know what you're in for then.
Don't dare me. Don't dare me.
I'll double dog dare you. All right, y'all. I'm going to get on my soapbox. Very simple. Help all these artists out. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Buy some merch.
Oh, yeah.
Because it really helps these artists out. And it even helps me out every now and then. Just to keep this old wheels rolling on all my little get up I got going on.
I hear it.
All right, baby girl. Appreciate you. And we're going to get out of here. See me more later. See y'all. Bye.
Bye.